5k time trial was a great success. I think we had 26 people post sometimes on Facebook, and I put together a little table, a little chart just for a little bit of fun. Not really any serious competition there, but what I did to make it more fun was to put the age graded times up. So people who don't know what age grading times are, very briefly, it's a way of leveling the playing field. So it sort of tries and smooths out the advantages that you would get from age, and it also, between males and females, it smooths that curve out a little bit, and we're all hearing about flattening the curve quite a lot at the moment. So what it does, it basically is, if you're a senior athlete, so i.e. under 30, you're compared to the world record holder. So for you to score 100%, you would have to achieve the world record. As you get older, you're compared to athletes in your age group. So it smooths that curves out. So you get a percentage. So a 30-year-old to score 70% would have to run a lot faster than a 60-year-old to score 70%. So it just makes it a little bit of fun. And I think what the idea is that we may be going to do is, when we do the park run in June, on June the 6th, that's the Northville Road Runners virtual 5k, or actually, if we are allowed to do park run, it'll be a real 5k, not a virtual one. But what we'll do is we will award a prize, I think, to the person who achieves the greatest percentage increase in their time. Or their age graded time. So for example, if you scored 60% in the time trial and you score 65% in the actual race, you've got a 5% increase, and if that's the most out of anybody, you win the prize. So again, it's not the person who's running the fastest, it's the person who's achieving the greatest increase during this training block. We had such a good response to the 5k time trial that some people actually wanted to do it again this week and perhaps every week, which is not really the point or the idea that I had when I came up with this 5k event. What I wanted to do was post a 5k time trial, do 6 weeks training, and then do a 5k race, and let's see if we can actually increase our pace or get faster. That's the idea. So it weren't really, the idea weren't to do one every week, but as I say, it was popular with a lot of people. So what I think we'll do is, at the beginning of May, we'll do another time trial. Maybe not a 5k time trial, maybe something a little bit different, but I think the beginning of May, which is the 2nd of May, the first Saturday in May, we'll do another event to get everybody running on the same day and posting some times. And then obviously the first Saturday in June will be the actual race. So the beginning of April, beginning of May, beginning of June, we're going to do some timed events. This week's 5k training session is a classic. It's we're going to do some 400 meter reps. Now unfortunately the tracks are closed, so you're going to have to do them on the dirt roads or the trails or wherever, but find a section that's as flat as you can get, where you can run for 400 meters uninterrupted, and we're going to do between 10 and 12 400 meter repeats. And the interval, the recovery interval between these repeats should be 50% of the time it takes you to do the 400 meters. So don't forget, we're doing these 400 meters at or slightly faster than your 5k time. So if you are running 8 minutes per mile for your 5k, you're going to be running the 400 meters in 2 minutes. Okay, so your recovery time is 60 seconds, 1 minute recovery. If you're running your 5k pace is 6 minutes per mile, you're going to be running 90 seconds for the for the 400 meters, so you only get 45 seconds recovery. The idea behind the recovery being relatively short is it stops you running these 400s too fast. We're not running these flat out, we're running them at your current 5k pace, or ever so slightly faster, but certainly not flat out. So you shouldn't need long recoveries. You should be able to manage with 50% of your effort as a recovery. Okay, so I've had a request from Gary to try and incorporate something similar to the time trial, the way we logged it on Facebook. He wants to know if I can incorporate something like that every week to try and keep us all motivated and talking to each other while we're in this lockdown situation. So at Gary's request, I've come up with an idea that we'll do the session, the 10x400s, on Saturday, and I'll set up a Facebook post again on the forum, and we will log our times. So just as another little bit of fun, what I'd like you to try and do is what we call in the UK, maybe it's just a British thing, but we call it a royal flush. So up on the screen now is an example of a 1 mile session that I did a while back, and you can see that I've highlighted the times there, and I did 6:49, 6:42, 6:37, 6:18. So that means each of the efforts got faster every time. So that is what we call a royal flush. Up on the screen now you can see is another example of the same session that I did, a mile session, but I didn't achieve a royal flush. My times don't get faster. So no prizes, but just a little gold sticker to the athlete or the athletes who can do a royal flush. So each of your 400 meters effort should be faster than the previous 400 meter effort. Now I don't want you to go crazy and start your efforts at 5k pace and end up sprinting the last 400 meter effort. It's got to be a controlled session. So it's going to be 10x400, 50% of the effort as a recovery, but I want you to try and get a royal flush. So each of the 400 meters has to be faster than the previous one, but not crazy. So it's a very difficult thing to achieve, and we'll see how we get on. So have a go and see what you think. So by now we're building up a little strength training regime. We've got our single leg squats being demonstrated very poorly by myself, and then last week we started to activate our transverse abdominis. Again, I'm doing one of the variations here, or trying to do one of the variations. So you set your TA, and then you press your back into the floor and then try and raise your legs in a controlled manner. This week we're adding another version of a glute exercise. So your glutes play a very important part when you're running. They don't really propel you forward, but they do stabilize your hips. So what I recommend you either get someone to help you with this one, to watch you, or you do what I've done and you video it. The idea is that you lay flat on your front, you bend your leg to 90 degrees, and your foot should be flat, and then you have to imagine you've got a tray of champagne glasses full of champagne on that foot, and then you have to lift your leg just a couple of inches, but it's got to be controlled. As you've seen from the video that I did, it wasn't very controlled because my glutes are not activated very well. So the more you do this, the stronger your glutes will get, and the more stable you'll be in running.